Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Christ is in our midst.
He is never shall be.
There's a real problem today in the world, not just in our society, but in the world. People have no trust in their governments. They have no trust in any sense of authority in the world, and so because of that, everything is breaking down. Men have learned and experienced, unfortunately, that what they believed were the means in which they could be cared for, the government has failed them, and so they become weak in heart, and they begin to throw off their responsibility, the authority that they have as owners of businesses, or as fathers or mothers. We begin to lose faith in authority because we see that what we look to is broken and it's false. So this leads to disruption, it leads to families, and it leads to society just falling apart. So the problem really lies in the fact that we think the problem is with authority. And so we think that it's about anarchy, that there isn't any rule, that there is no hierarchy, and that as I feel it, so should it be. So this is the pervading thought, this is the pervading sentiment amongst so many of us in society, not just here in America, but around the world is growing. But the problem, again, isn't authority, it's what we've taken for authority. We've looked to princes and the sons of men to save us, and this is the problem. Real authority, true authority, is only found in Christ. When the centurion comes and he says to the Lord, he says, "My servant is sick. Heal him." And he goes even further and he says, essentially, you don't even have to come, you just give the word, because I understand how real authority works. Jesus marvels at this. And I would say to you, my brothers and sisters, Jesus wishes to marvel at us once again. But the problem is we are looking to the wrong source for authority. Yes, we're Christians. Yes, we're Orthodox. Yes, we come to church. But do we really look to Christ as the authority? I don't think so. God has created us to be free. This is a unique thing that He's given to us. He's given us a unique measure of freedom that even the angels don't have. And definitely animals do not have freedom. And I would submit to you this is the problem. Because you look to your will as the authority. You look to your desires as the authority. You look to your opinion as the authority. And our will, and our desires, and our opinions, they will lead us wrong. They lead us wrong because they are limited in scope. God deserves our respect and our honor, and God is to be the source of authority, if nothing else, because He alone is omniscient. He alone sees all. These black squares in our pockets give us a sense that we're omniscient, but we're not. And this is why our wills have grown. We think that we get information, we think that we can navigate things, and so we think that our wills and our opinions and our desires, that they are the totality of authority, but they're not. God is. And God is because He alone sees all. Before there were these black boxes in our pockets, and long after these black boxes in our pockets are gone, He alone knows what is good and true and right. And so we need to look to Him. I confess to you how guilty am I. Something's wrong. And I all of a sudden become a physician. And I begin Googling, what is this pain I'm having? I fail as the centurion. I don't say, oh, I have this pain in my side. What is this? Lord, what is this? I don't do that. Oftentimes we'll go to the authority, the little black box, and I'll say, what is this pain in the side? Therefore, cutting God out of the loop. You see? God's created us free. I have the, it's an honor, it's a joy, don't get me wrong, but it's an often unpleasant responsibility I have. It's my job to tell this to you guys. And I'll tell you why. God has appointed priests to mediate between him and the people for a reason. And I'll tell you why. Because the way that God works, he works on the principle of freedom. God doesn't want to come and wag a finger in your face. That's not what God does. And oftentimes, we want him to do that. Oftentimes, we want God to come in and just ragdoll us and have us make us do what we think he wants. But that's not love. And that is the slavery of sin. See, when we're slaves to sin, our members, as Paul's talking about in the epistle today, there is no control. You are run by your desires, whatever that's going to be. Whatever you feel you need, as long as you're in bondage to that cruel master, sin doesn't give you a choice. Sin doesn't say to you, well, if you want to do this, that's okay. Sin says, this is what you're doing it now. And I don't care what's going on. It's not God. God has brought all of us to a place of freedom. He says, I am the source. In me you'll find life. Come to me. But we don't come to him. And so we give the authority elsewhere. We give the authority to ourselves, to our wills. We give the authority outside of ourselves to whatever we're taking in. And this is the bondage that we so oftentimes find ourselves in. But brothers and sisters, it should not be. Because all of us who are baptized, all of us have been charismated, we have been brought into and under a new master and a new authority. So, this principle of freedom, this is what it means to have a human soul and a mind and a spirit. This principle of freedom, this is what it means to be in the image of God. To be in the image of God isn't having 2 eyes and 2 hands and arms. It's being a free person. A free person motivated by love. Real love. Not warm, gushy feelings. Love. The kind of love that says, I want the good. Even if it's not pleasant, I want the good. This can only be pursued in freedom. And this is what it means to be made in the image of God. And this is what it means to have authority. Because we want to divorce authority from God, and it's not right. And that's why we get tyrants and despots and all of these distortions. Because we think authority is about power. If you want to know what authority is, look to the Father. The Father is always loving you. The Father is always inviting you, never forcing you. The Father is always saying, I purposely brought you to be like me. Be free. So, let us be like the centurion. And let us look to the true source. And let us say, when our bodies are struggling and we're struggling with passions, let us look to Christ and say, heal my servant. Heal my wife. Heal my son. Heal my daughter. Heal my friend. Heal me, Lord. I know that you can. I believe that you can because you are the only true authority. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.